What's up, humans and freaks? Donald Trump needs to be held to the fire, all right? So everybody who voted for Donald Trump, I did vote for Donald Trump. He has done, obviously, some good things, yeah. But one of the main things, as of right now, he is totally flaking on. He's backpedaling. He's not holding up his promise with Jeffrey Epstein. So as you guys know, Jeffrey Epstein, famous world famous child trafficker. And bottom line is they have all those Jeffrey Epstein files. They have them. They said Donald Trump ran. One of his promises is he said that he was going to expose and release all the Jeffrey Epstein files. Okay. But now he's saying he's not going to do that, and he wants us to forget about it. So here's the thing. If you voted for Trump, even if you didn't vote for Trump, you need to hold Trump's feet to the fire. Don't let it go. Don't forget about it. And keep the pressure on him, everybody, this whole country, this whole world. Because the bottom line is Jeffrey Epstein and this world is run by satanic traffickers and murderers. So the people that run the world, and this is why Jeffrey Epstein is so important to get these files released, so the whole world knows that the entire world is run by satanic pedophiles who not only torture children and abuse children, they murder children. They sacrifice children, guys. This is why millions and millions of kids go missing every year. Where do you think they go? What do you think happens to them? Why do you think human trafficking is the biggest business on planet Earth by far? It's the biggest business on planet Earth by far. Human trafficking. And it's mainly kids. And when I say kids, I mean like little kids. 2 years old, 4, 5, babies, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, kids. So this is very disturbing. Now, some people will say from the Q world that Trump is playing 4D chess, okay? And Trump is basically Trump is trolling right now. This is the argument that the Q world says. They say, "Oh no, Trump, he's just making it so everybody gets outraged and the Democrats and everybody demand that he releases the Epstein files. And then eventually Trump is going to release the Epstein files, and it's going to show that Trump isn't involved with any of it." And I don't believe Trump isn't into that at all. Trump is into women. We all know this. Trump likes women. Trump will go screw around with some adult women. Yeah, he'll do that. But I don't think Trump is at all into little kids. But the argument goes that Trump is going to release everything when it gets out of control. When the pressure gets so hot on him, he's going to release everything, and then it's going to show, a bunch of liberal Democrat leftists, that are all into child trafficking and child sacrifice and all that stuff. We'll see if that's what happens, but as of right now, Trump and his administration, it's not looking good at all, and they all need to be held to the fire, hold their feet to the fire, Donald Trump included, hold their feet to the fire. So yeah, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. We're about almost 2 weeks into this, of them saying they're not going to do anything about Epstein. But so and then another argument, which I kind of understand this one, but I don't, because imagine if you're one of these kids, or you're a parent of one of these kids that has been trafficked and murdered and raped and all those things. Imagine if you're one of those kids and you're one of those parents to those kids. They all deserve justice, right? But then another argument is that, and sadly this is kind of true, if the entire world, if humanity knew the real truth, that the world's leaders, you're talking kings, presidents, celebrities, the rich and powerful, right? Politicians, all of them, okay? The people that run this world are Satan worshipers. They worship the devil. They literally worship the devil, guys. And part of satanic religion is Satan loves sacrifice. He loves human sacrifice, but he especially loves child sacrifice. And then to make matters even crazier, because this is how Satanism works, they create snuff films, okay? So they rape children on camera, and then they murder them right after that. And then to get it even crazier, if you guys have never heard of adrenochrome, so adrenochrome is the blood of children when they're in their most frightened state, because it releases a lot of these hormones into their blood, okay? So this is why they're into this stuff, okay? They'll rape kids and they'll murder kids right when they're about done with them. And then the blood, right in that moment, they will drain from children and preserve it, and they will inject that blood into themselves for youthful purposes, for health purposes. Adrenochrome, look it up. This is all, I know all this sounds insane and conspiracy theory, but it's not. It's true. This is the evil, dark world we live in, guys. So if they did release the Epstein files, one of the fears, the argument they're making is, well, humanity, they're not ready for that. Because then the whole world would collapse, because all the citizens around the world would realize that the people who lead their countries are part of this bullcrap. And then there'd be just utterly world chaos, because there'd be a big void, a big power vacuum void left when humanity realizes all of its, maybe not every individual, but most of the world's leaders and rich and powerful are into this stuff, are Satan worshipers, and they rape children and they sacrifice children to the devil. Period. End of story. I don't care how crazy you think that sounds. Look it up for yourself. This is true. And this is why Epstein is a big deal. So don't let Epstein go. Keep Trump's feet to the fire. And if Trump never releases the Epstein files, if his administration never does it, then that is a huge, 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 big black stain on Trump and his administration. They may do some other good things, but that it kind of ruins it. It's kind of like, it just kind of ruins it, because this is kind of the biggest deal you could ever imagine. Exposing the world leaders, the world's rich and powerful and famous, are Satan worshipers who rape children and sacrifice children to the devil. That's why the Epstein files probably will never get released. And if they do release them, they might release some little breadcrumbs that aren't that really controversial or serious, just to kind of pacify you and say, okay, we released some stuff, now go away. But as of right now, if they're not playing any games, and this isn't some giant psychological operation, if Trump is not playing 4D chess, this looks as evil and horrible as possible. Imagine, you're protecting satanic pedophiles who murder children and torture children and rape children. This is peak insanity, guys. Anyways, that's it. Keep the pressure on Trump and his whole administration. Public needs to not let him forget it. Keep going, guys. This is crazy. A lot of things are about to be revealed, hopefully. God willing, God bless.